Good morning. Um, I hope you're enjoying these segments. I wanted to say that um, not everyone is watching all the videos that are watching, and I'm sure that you have limited time, but they are in sequence, um, and they're baby food. They're beginning, which is what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about the milk of the Word and the importance of the beginning of your Christian walk. You know, if you're a mature Christian, perhaps these videos will give you a new way of sharing the gospel that's not quite so hard to understand or hard to accept, because new people, when you're ministering to someone who's unsaved, when you start quoting a lot of scriptures and things like that, it's a little bit like being shot with a Gatling gun. I remember when I first got saved, mature Christians just, oh my gosh, it was like, wow, I couldn't handle the amount of pressure that they wanted to put on me. And I find that we drive new people away very readily because we are trying to pull them into a maturity level. If I had my way, which I don't, and God may see fit to eventually put me in this position. I've not pastored a church. I've pastored a chat room, and I had an internet church for over 2 years. It was very successful, and but if I had a literal physical church, new converts would have their own service. They wouldn't be indoctrinated into the core of the body until they others know this. Doctors know this. Baby probably knows it better. And it's a very stressful time, and then it comes out of the womb, and it's in this great big world, and it's cold, and it's different, and you start putting clothes on it, and it's like they've never had anything touch their skin before. All of these changes take place that's absolutely traumatizing, and we're sitting there going shh, 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 like they're supposed to be understanding what we want them to do, and we're frustrated with them, but we don't understand what they just came out of, and the horrific um, feeling that it must be for a brand new baby to enter into this world and have everything change immediately, just within moments. People pulling at them, touching them, holding them. These things, they never occurred before. So here you have new converts that have been in a world that has been harsh, that has been, and not that the womb is harsh, but it's so even more, we should even be more careful with a new babe in the Lord, because the world has been very harsh to them. They've been through traumatic thing after traumatic thing, and now they're being pushed in, or not pushed, but birthed into a new territory. They have to learn the language. They have to understand the meaning of that language. They have to, we start telling them how they have to dress and how they have to look, and get rid of the earrings and do this and don't cut your hair and do cut your hair, and all these different things that we have that we think are so important. And trust me, people, we are hundreds of times more religious than God will ever be. If you will read the Gospels, you will come to understand that Jesus never asked anybody to do anything except believe. He didn't ask them to change their hair, change their clothes, change the way they ate. He didn't fuss at them for being publicans and sinners. He didn't fuss at them for being who they were. They were fishermen. They were coarse. They were crass. He didn't go in there and say, well, you have to do this, 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 and this. He didn't do that. He just went in and loved them, healed them, delivered them, gave them new reasons to follow him. And we need to get up off of our sanctified little selves and start remembering what it was when we were new Christians and how devastating it was to and honestly, people, you know it's the truth. Even if you're mature, sometimes you feel like you're never going to live up to the expectations that your leaders have. And that's sad. That's really sad. So don't despise the milk of the word. And understand it so well that you can deliver it to others that's effective and non-threatening. Milk is not very threatening. You can take a piece of roast beef and chuck it upside somebody's head and knock them out, especially if it's frozen. But milk, you're going to get them wet. Might offend them a little bit, but it's not going to harm them in any way. Milk is something that's digestible. We're going to talk about the human side of milk versus the spiritual side of milk. We know it's the beginning of life for humans as well as animals. Most animals that have milk, and at least mammals. Milk holds within it a rich cream that causes a fattening process because we need the calories to grow. My God, babies grow like wildfire. If you're hot, forget it. That baby's hotter. That little body's circulatory system is going because it's a little body, and you and I have this circulatory system that's got to do this. It takes us longer. So just because you're hot doesn't mean that baby's hot. Get them clothes off that baby. Let that baby breathe. My goodness, moms. But anyway, just a little side thing. I've been a mama for a long time. So we don't need the milk when we're grown because our bones are forged, our teeth are forged. You know, we need some milk. We need to have some calcium in our diet, but we should get ours more from green leafy vegetables. Another little side note. And things like that. There's other ways to get calcium than drinking milk all the time because milk is a fattening agent. That's what it's made for. And it's designed for babies. It really is designed for babies. So it will grow the inner man. It grows that inner skeletal system, makes your bones strong. So if you want to be strong in the Lord, you've got to have the milk that will give you the nutrients in the spirit that will cause your inner man to become strong. Then your outer man will do what it's supposed to do, but you've got to strengthen that inner man. So you have to have the milk of the word. Do not despise new beginnings. Don't despise your foundation. I revisit it many times. I revisit it as often as I can because when I remember the beginnings, it gets me back on fire again. And you get out there and people will start putting your fire out. They'll throw water on you and everything else they can do to dumb you down so that you get discouraged. And unfortunately, we do that to each other a whole lot more than the world does. So 1 Peter says that a newborn baby, 1 Peter 2 and 2 says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby. We know babies have to have milk. Now, milk is a kickstart with the immune system. It gives all the nutrients and all the antibodies that these babies will need for the next year to keep them from getting things like the flu and measles and mumps and all those things. Mother's milk is designed to give these children, the babies, the new powerful start to ward them off of the diseases that could attack their little bodies. It's the same thing in Christendom. The milk of the word is there to strengthen your core, to give you those antibodies, to give you all of those things that will fight off the enemy. But if you don't have a foundation, you can know the deep things of the Lord, but without a foundation, you're not going to make it. Because every house has got to have a foundation. You can put walls up and you can put a roof up without a foundation to attach to it. The storms of life will blow it over, won't it? And it's the same thing in a garden. If you don't dig it deep and let those roots get deep, then the first sign of too much heat or too much rain or too much wind, your garden will be blown away. Know that you must have a firm foundation, and those of us that are mature in the Lord, revisit those baby things, those first steps, because, if you've ever seen a house that has brick and mortar, that mortar gets dry, and it'll start crumbling, and you'll start seeing holes in between the bricks and things. You need to go back and shore up that foundation and get that mortar back in there to make those bricks secure, or your house is going to be in danger. Same in the spirit realm. We need to revisit the first fruits, the first things that we learn. And not only that, but sometimes we just need to go back and remember what Jesus did for us, how much he loves us, and why he did what he did for us, and why we're walking this walk. What does it mean? And can we explain it to somebody who doesn't know anything about the Lord? I think it's time for us to come out of the church, people of God, and start touching people's lives again. We're way too much in the comfort zone. We're like babies when we should be grown. We're still wanting to be wrapped up in swaddling and held tight and pacifier in our mouth all the time. We've got to constantly and continuously be entertained by music or videos or tapes, and of course, let one of those videos be mine, because they're important, right? Even too much of me is too much of me. Come on now, balance. We have to have a balance. Remember the first fruits. Be sweet to the babies. All right, God bless you. Talk to you soon.